Hey everybody, it's Ryan from Pi Records, and I'm here with the great guys from Moussaka. How are you guys?
Hey, we're great.
Hey,
Thank you
fine.
for having us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I was listening to your music, and it's got a very full sound. I was very impressed by it.
Thank you.
So how are things where you are right now? You're in Moscow, right?
Oh, people confuse like Serbia with, some Russian country, but no, it's not. We're based in Balkans in Southeastern Europe.
Oh, my
And
apologies.
Belgrade.
No
Belgrade
problem.
is the city.
Belgrade. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Actually, suburbs of Belgrade, but yeah, some of us are in the city center like Dado,
So
our bass player. So
awesome. So I'm glad I got all of you here. But your bass player's not here, right?
no, it's not. Our drummer is away.
Okay, your drummer.
Only our drummer. So yeah.
Okay, so I'm glad I have you all here. I'd like to take the opportunity for you to introduce yourselves and what instruments you play.
Okay, should I start? Okay, I'm a second guitar. I'm Igor.
I'm Petar. I'm also second guitar.
Hi, everybody. My name is Davor, but everybody can call me Dado or Dado. I play bass guitar.
Okay, great. So where did you guys get your sound and what inspired you to start a surf band? And how long have you been around?
Okay, so Peter, should you start?
Well, I don't know. I started with listening to surf music, I don't know, around 2008 or 9, but before I listened to a lot of punk rock and something like that. So through Queers, Agent Orange, I just, go to surf and tried with few bands. This is actually my second surf band. I had also threesome, and that was before threesome. Now is on hold, and only Moussaka is playing at the moment.
So
Yeah, but just to clarify,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
sorry, just to clarify, like we're not like a typical surf band for those who don't know, but we like, mix local pop folk music with surf arrangements. So that's like specific when it comes to Moussaka. So we use like basically popular folk songs and translate it into something that can be called surf music. It's not like traditional surf, more like power surf or something with elements of punk rock as well. So that's specific for Moussaka.
I always love to hear the different influences. The reason being, a lot of bands that I've spoken to outside of the United States incorporate their native folk music in the band they're doing. What are some of the folk musicians or folk songs that stuck with you that made you want to incorporate that?
Well, it's a tough question, Basically, when it comes to influences, when it comes to surf music specifically, I'd say, like when it comes to me, like it's like maybe Slacktone or Bang Mustang, those kinds of bands. But when it comes to folk music, like we got to idea to form a band by watching some old TV show. There were like some sketches, and there were like those folk songs in between, and we watched that TV show, some old folk songs from various artists, and we were like inspired to like translate that to instrumental guitar music. So that was
Yeah, what's interesting about folk influences here in Serbia, for many years, entire rock community decades ago thought that all people who listen to folk music here in Yugoslavia then and now Serbia, they're basically lower form of life. Nobody from rock music accepted folk music as something to be considered as music. That's just rubbish and trash. And now
Oh,
we have, yeah, pretty much, and especially in the 90s, because in the 90s, Serbia and Yugoslavia were under sanctions and everything, and
yeah.
there was something called turbo
War.
folk, which was a folk music, traditional music from Serbia, but with techno elements and everything. And
Oh,
especially from that period, everybody who listened to rock and all other parts of music hated it. And now when we play some traditional folk music or even folk songs from that period in surf manner, nobody can see the original. And they were like, "Oh man, that's really cool surf song." And when we tell them what the original is, they were like, "Man, dude, what?" So that's really a great surprise element for all of us.
yeah, that kind of takes it to a whole new level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were also inspired by our, like, here, like, it's custom, I remember my grandfather, my late father, he was like sitting by the radio and listening to old songs. And we were like, some of those songs are like actually covered that my grandfather listens to. I mean, it sounds nostalgic, but it's
Yeah.
that.
Does he recognize the songs in your music?
Yeah,
Um,
that's the best thing actually, because everyone, we play instrumental music, which is obvious, but those songs actually have words. So
Yeah.
when people recognize it, they actually sing it, from the audience.
Oh, that's
That's
cool.
interesting. Yeah, that's interesting stuff. Like, I don't know, Zaboravi from our first EP. There is at one point we do like a stop, and everyone in the audience just say "Ako možeš" because they said in the original song. So it's kind of nice relationship with the audience.
I wanna make sure I have. Is this is you guys, right?
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What
It's
a
the cover of our latest EP.
what a great EP this is. Uh,
Well,
Thank you.
so tell me a little bit about that EP, and then we'll delve into some of your other releases.
Just as previous releases, we did it on our own. So basically, we do it everything ourselves, like from the recording and production to cover art. And we recorded it at Petar's place, another second guitarist place. And we put the amplifier in the water closet and to achieve that natural reverb. That's
Yeah.
the thing, Only the drums were recorded in actual studio. On the cover, it's like a monument, a famous monument in Belgrade. It has some connotations, but it's too complicated. So I guess local people know what it is.
well, it's the monument in front of our park. So yeah,
Okay.
that's that's the political stuff. But was before also parliament of the whole Yugoslavia. Now it's just Serbia, but everyone knows it, so it's kind of symbolic.
Yeah, it's symbolic because like the full monument is like people carry horses, and it's like it has some symbolic in it.
Awesome.
Instead of like people riding horses, like people are having horses on their backs.
And what is the meaning behind that?
Well, I don't know. It's the artist part,
Oh,
but around
I-
here, people
If
are.
I may, maybe better thing about the cover is lettering, because lettering of the Moussaka on this cover is a tribute to an old folk festival in Yugoslavia. Every year there was a festival of folk music. It was called Mesam. That's abbreviation for the folk artists and everything. But every year, and that was a huge happening in Yugoslavia. Every year there was like transmitted on television and everything, and all the folk artists gathered every year, received awards and played the latest songs and everything. And our lettering on that cover is a reference to that folk happening that can relate in former Yugoslavia and in Croatia and Bosnia and Slovenia, Macedonia, North Macedonia. Sorry.
So,
Yeah, it was kind of folk of.
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it was kind of folk Oscars in ex-Yugoslavia. It was really popular, so we just took the font and rearranged our how do you say logo.
Yeah, logo. Yeah. Basically, we use like though that like former Yugoslavia had that strong popular culture, and we use that aesthetics in our appearance. All those things that remind us of that past, and we incorporate that in our artworks. So, but there is no any political meaning and stuff. It's only like it suits us,
Yeah.
and it's better to play surf and incorporate some local stuff because when you play rock and roll outside of UK or America, it may be considered some kind of cultural appropriation. So we like use our
Okay.
legacy and stuff to create something like original. So although we cover songs, those are not actually total covers. We have our own arrangements, and
Yeah.
parts of the songs are always like we have some like original parts of the song. So I don't consider it as cover band.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, actually it is.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, yeah, it is basically a cover, but I think when we don't use lyrics, it's kind of totally different songs, so it maybe can put us like over the board for that. But I don't know. We try to sound authentic as possible.
Awesome. I never
With a
thought
lot of reverb.
about about American music and playing American music that it would be considered appropriation, because in fact, the UK, they had the Beatles and we had Elvis, but it's more of a world culture thing right now, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I agree. But like in 20th century, like the popular culture was like maybe in some way dictated by something that happened across the ocean. So I believe, that maybe many countries in Europe or in other parts of the world like try to emulate that, so it can be considered appropriation in some kind. You have
Okay.
like a band that sounds like exactly like the American band, but plays in the local language. So that's what I meant.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about your other releases. What year did you start, and when did your first complete work recorded come out?
Actually, we started around 2013.
14.
Igor and I started, and we recorded our first EP. I think we also recorded our second EP, and then we actually started a band. It was kind of like a project between us, and we felt good about it, but it was kind of our thing. And at some point we were like, okay, maybe we can try and play it live. And so we acquired Dado and Marko was drummer back then. And I think around 2015 we had like our first gig.
Awesome. So what aesthetic can people that come to your shows expect?
There is one word in that's a Bosnian word right now, but that was back in a Serbo-Croatian language that was called language we spoke in Yugoslavia. It's called dernek. That's a Turkish origin word, and that means like 100% full total party. I mean, jumping and screaming and everything. That's the word. If some of the listeners know Turkish language, dernek is the word that people can experience on our shows.
So it's
Yeah.
definitely a give and take with the audience.
Yeah, we play really hard. We are not static on a stage. We go into the audience, and it's always like really nice event, Dernek.
Peter always does stage diving, and he hates because we don't do it as well. But I have glasses, so I avoid that.
And also, what Peter said, very big part of our shows is public singing songs with us. There is always a moment when people recognize song we played in Bulgaria last year, I believe, or a year before that, and even people from Bulgaria recognized some of Yugoslavian songs in our songs, and they started singing with us, and that was really
Awesome.
wonderful. Yeah.
So the cities that you mentioned, how connected are the bands, and do you guys all help each other when you come to their city, feel welcome and kind of work together in each other's countries and cities to try to help promote each other?
Absolutely. I mean, when we go to a tour, to some like nearby country, it usually happens that we do it like vice versa. We go to Slovenia to play, and then those guys come here, to our place. I mean, there's a cooperation,
Yeah,
Both-
but actually, there isn't a lot of surf bands in Balkans, so it's really tough to make that kind of connection. But we play with a lot of punk bands, rock and roll bands, blues, whatever. But actually, in Slovenia, we have really cool friends. The Monstrumental is the name.
Oh.
We played well, I don't know, a few times also in Slovenia. We bring them here all the time, so it's really good connection.
Yeah, and we are planning like an extremely interesting gig in April with one Croatian band that also plays interesting, psychedelic rock music. It's called Daliborovo Granje. You should check it out. I mean, it's hard to
We're gonna
pronounce.
leave you the link after.
That might be hard to Google.
Yeah, we're gonna link you
Yeah.
after so you
So-
can hear it.
Send me a
Really
link
nice.
in the messages, and I'll listen to it.
Yeah, really. Great stuff.
So have you guys been able to play out recently?
Last
it
2
was
years.
tough.
Oh no. So
Last 2 years were tough.
but you're still continuing to work on music.
Of course, yeah. At the moment, we are preparing our 6th EP. We're on that, and we hope that in 2002 it will be more gigs. So
Right now, as Igor said, right now we are preparing our sixth, and now it's the most, for me, interesting part is to select what songs to cover, what influences, what songs are we choosing, and for me that's the best part of Moussaka, because there are literally thousands of great folk songs in the history of our musics, and to pick one just to find find that we all four of us relate to that song and make it like 1,000 times better than the original without
Yeah.
singing, of course. That's the for me best part. When we play it and record it, that's less fun for me. But most fun is to listen to thousands and thousands of history of our music and find out, oh my God, this song is great. Oh my God, this song is even better and everything. So for me, we're right now at the best part of recording an EP.
The best stuff is when you hear some song that you know it, but you totally forgot about it, you know. And
Yeah.
at some point you just like, wow, man, this is the song, you know, and that we're searching for.
Was it kind of
Yeah,
like rediscovering the music after, from when you were kids?
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, we mentioned our grandfathers when we were kids. Like
Yeah.
that, it's some kind. So another thing to note is like, those songs are like really demanding in terms of playing. So we like when we learn to play those songs, we like play better. We improve our
Yeah.
skills. Like 10 years ago, we were like punk rockers and stuff, and now we were like, woo.
Yeah, yeah.
and I've said this many times. Playing punk rock is different from playing surf. Surf is very like you can hear every nuance. If like you make a mistake, it's very pronounced.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, guitar is main instrument, and it really like how to say, replacing the voice, the vocalist. So everyone is like just locked vision on you how you play, and everything evolves around that.
Yeah, and on the top of that, considering Moussaka, add the Oriental scales that we mostly use when we do our songs, because Oriental scales are much different than these standard major and minor. It has semitones, lots of semitones and everything. So
Yeah.
it's pretty much interesting to to learn how to play them.
You mean microtones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Do you guys ever incorporate a lecky?
Sorry?
A lecky guitar?
No, we didn't.
No,
Well,
no.
the only thing we did so far, we used the Hawaiian guitar,
Okay.
and
Like lap steel guitar.
yeah,
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, the guy from also from a different band. He's our friend Vladimir. He played it, and it really sounds great. At some point when we were playing that song live, I actually hear that in inside my head because he's not playing with us live, yeah, on stage. So yeah, it was really good. And
So
also that song is our last video. Maybe Dado can say something about it because it was his idea. Yeah.
Yeah, we that was animated, 100% animated video, and we worked with one fantastic artist from Serbia, Uroš Begovic. We'll send you links and everything. He's really,
awesome.
let's just say that Rolling Stones official account of Rolling Stones on Instagram used one of his works. He just made an illustration of them. Just put hashtag Rolling Stones, and the guys saw it and posted on their official account. That's like millions
Wow.
of people. Yeah, fantastic guy. But more than just being a great artist, he's a wonderful person. I must say that. And he worked more than 15 months all alone on that video drawing and everything.
Wow.
And when he finished, Peter and me, we did the animation that took us like a month or two, something like that. And it's out now, and we must brag a little bit. This video entered into a festival of independent movie in Valencia, Spain.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's one of the hopefully many festivals we will enter this year. with this video. So you should definitely check it out. You can find it on our YouTube page and everything. It's really wonderful.
Is that what you use on your cover photo of your Facebook page?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah,
great.
it's our most recent video.
It looks
Thanks.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think.
It reminds me of the Saturday morning cartoons I used to watch as a kid.
Absolutely. Yeah. It reminds me of Scooby-Doo cartoons.
Yeah, yeah. And that was a long and arduous process for those guys to make those cartoons back in the day.
Yeah, they took,
Absolutely. I read because there is like revival of those Saturday morning cartoons like He-Man and everything being rebooted. So I went and read about Filmation and everything. They're like they had to make like 65 episodes for 3 months, which is in today's terms it's insanity. And I can't
Yeah.
believe 40 years ago when they started working to produce like 65 episodes in 1 year, that's insane totally, but they did it anyway.
Yeah, that's crazy. So what are you doing right now as far as new music, and when can we expect to hear it, if in the near future?
we're like in the brainstorming phase. Like, we have a couple of songs that we like practiced, and Dado will come to, like, we will meet each other at home and first practice without the drummer. Afterwards, we'll play with the drummer. I believe it will be realistic to have it in October, like
Okay.
something like that. It won't be too much different for what we do, since it's like a proven recipe. So
So you guys
maybe,
are able to get together right now?
Well, yeah.
yeah, of course.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Some countries in Europe, you're still not allowed to get together.
Yeah, yeah.
No, in Serbia, it's not that, like, it's not that tough in that sense. But, we are able to meet, but everyone is like still cautious and stuff. So
Yeah.
But
Well,
three
Yeah,
of us,
we're ready to meet, but playing in clubs is
Yeah.
kind of tricky.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing I wanted to comment on. When I listen to your music, it sounds like you guys are super tight, like you've been playing together. And I thought, well, they've either mastered the recording process or they're actually playing together.
that's combination of both, because well, all three or four of us have a really long experience in playing in various bands, like 10, 15 years ago when we started. So there's that element, and of course there's element that we played more than, I don't know how many shows, but really big number of shows, and in Serbia and all nearby countries. So yeah, together that makes that we sound really tight.
yeah, I'd say like more than 20 years of like making music in different bands. Dado is also a bass player, another like, popular band in Serbia.
So what when
Peter was too. Yeah,
oh, go
I
ahead.
played in some band. Yeah, that's it basically.
Oh, so
I mean, Igor and I, we know each other like for 20 years or something like that. So we also played, but actually this is like this band we're playing together or something.
Yeah, and
Really?
also one thing, Peter and I played in a tribute band to Ramones also.
Yeah.
Together. I played bass guitar, he played guitar. So yeah, there's that connection also.
Yeah, what's interesting, there was also like a joint concert where all the bands in which Dado plays played together.
oh, nice.
Yeah. How many
Yeah.
bands there?
There are like 5 bands in one night.
Wow.
Yeah, I with 5 bands that night and spent like 3.5 hours on stage. And I played like 60 songs, something like that.
Wow.
And I think, and I played in 2 of those bands.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we go, I want to talk about, we had some of
It is
your
great.
folk music influences. Now, what are some of your most favored surf influences?
I mentioned like I really like Slackton.
For me,
Pero
Oh,
continue.
we lost you there.
yeah.
Uh,
I also, can you see me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I also listen to, of course, like old school Dick Dale and everything, but I also like Slackton is like one of my favorite bands. Also bands from Germany, I like Bang Mustang is amazing band. I don't know, Gas Guns, a lot of surf bands I really like.
You know-
As far as I'm concerned, everything what Peter and Igor said, I'm like with them 100%.
Man or Astroman?
Yeah.
Cool.
I
So
would like also add,
go ahead.
sorry, I would also like to add to like it's not like illogical thing to combine surf with traditional folk, because like Mr. Lou is a traditional Greek song. Also there's a cover
Song.
there's a cover of March to Drina, old Serbian song, which is played by
Shadows.
the Shadows. Yeah. So
Oh wow.
I mean, it's not like it's not something that we figure out. It makes sense in some kind of way. So
Yeah. That's great. So did you guys have anything else you wanted to mention or something I didn't ask or talk about?
Can we ask you something like how did you stumble upon our music?
yeah.
I saw your name on a flyer. I want to say DJ Dottie played you. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I go through the list of what radio stations are playing bands sometimes, and I go check the bands out. And then I contact them, and usually it's a really good conversation, and I like the music. So that's where I want to say I heard from you.
We're glad you like it.
Cool.
Oh yeah. So I want to thank you guys so much for your time later in the day and your great story. I think people are really going to enjoy hearing about your special blend of surf music. And I hope you have a great night.
You too. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having
Thank you.
us and keep up the good work.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
All best.
Absolutely.